Spectrobes is a game franchise where you dig up fossils to revive creatures that you can train and grow to evolve into stronger versions of themselves. And with the first game coming out in 2006, I have never heard of this game. And so on my second channel, I decided to undergo my first ever playthrough of Spectrobes, and also 100%, which means I'll have to explore the entire Nanairo Solar System, defending the universe from the evil Krawl, and on top of that, collect every single Spectrobe and evolve it to its max form. But then on top of that, I also decided to play through Spectrobes Beyond the Portals, which is the second game, which not only introduces some brand new crazy villains, but this game completely revamps the combat, completely revamps the camera and exploration, adds in dark Spectrobes, and also just way more, and I mean way more regular Spectrobes. That's right, baby, we're going through 2 games today. So let's rewind 120 hours of playthrough time and start at the beginning of Spectrobes. Introducing Rallin and Gina. These are 2 space officers, and we're tasked with investigating a crash-landed object on a planet called Daiichi. Now, before I go further, remember, we are playing an old game, right? This is the first game of the Spectrobes franchise. Now, the graphics aren't a total dumpster fire, but dude, the movement gave me some form of motion sickness. It's like walking through quicksand after eating a Chili's triple dipper, dude. It was horrible. Now, don't worry, the sequel does fix this, so just bear with me for now. Rallin ends up finding this crashed object, and turns out it's a life pod with some dude chilling inside. Outside of it, we end up finding something called a prize mod, which is kind of like an Omnitrix, when all of a sudden 2 purple tornadoes start running straight at us. Luckily, our brand new prize mod that we got spits out 2 random brand new creatures, and with these creatures, we're able to defend us and attack. Now, in this first Spectrobes game, you're basically piloting Rallin and the Spectrobes in this weird dance of combat clunk. You're basically walking around while these 2 Spectrobes hit, and you're trying to like synchronize it to hit with these enemies. And like I said, guys, this is the first game in the Spectrobes franchise. Believe me, it gets way better in the second game, but for now, we have to deal with this for about 40 hours. Luckily for us, we're able to hit victory, and we're able to see the names Spiken and Zozan as our 2 brand new creatures, both level 10 and 8 respectively. We end up taking this life pod back to our ship. All of a sudden, the strange man inside wakes up and introduces himself as Alduus. Turns out his entire solar system got wiped out by those Krawl, those purple tornado things. And he's actually here because our Nanairo Solar System is the birthplace of these things called Spectrobes. He then ends up dropping a bombshell that if we don't remove the Krawl from the solar system, our entire solar system will be blown to dust. They will eat it alive. We're now then allowed to look at our brand new Spectrobes. They're kind of freaky, but their designs are actually kind of cool. Now, to 100% this game, like I said, we need to collect every single one and evolve it to its max form. So prepare for a very excruciatingly long 40-hour playthrough. But to be fair, this is kind of where the fun begins. Alduus ends up giving us a fossil to awaken. Now, unlike fossil fighters where you dig up the fossil to like revive it, which we'll eventually do, to actually revive and awaken our Spectrobe, you actually have to talk to it. Like, you gotta whisper to it, essentially. With that being said, our first awakened Spectrobe is a Komainu. Now, right now, it is a baby Spectrobe, so it's actually useless in battle, but it's actually very useful for scanning fossils. Spectrobes have 3 evolution forms: a baby, a adult, and an evolved form, I believe. And like I said, we'll need to max out every single one to fill up the encyclopedia, but for now, we go off with our beautiful brand new Komainu and start scanning for some fossils. Now, immediately, you can already kind of tell if you're coming for fossil fighters, this looks horrible. The range of our Komainu is so bad that we basically have to be like up next to the Spectrobe fossil to like dig it up properly. Now, we spent a decent amount of time digging up and finding a bunch of brand new fossils, including a Shapod fossil, and I immediately wanted to go incubate this as fast as possible because it was the first fossil I actually got. Now, what's really interesting about the awakening process is you have to hit a specific like volume decibel for it to wake up, but because my mic has a bunch of filters on it, it's a little bit harder for me to do that. But now we awaken our second baby Spectrobe, a Shaken. Each baby Spectrobe has its own different stat allocation for finding and unlocking more fossils, but for now we end up putting our Shaken in the incubator. This is where you can actually feed your Spectrobes with minerals to increase their stats, and as their stats go higher, their level goes higher, and after enough time in the incubator, they can eventually evolve. We also end up finding these like rainbow fluorescent cubes. These cubes are named after fraternity names, and they allow you to get more information about the game. Now, they're not really as important right now because you can kind of just search up all the wiki stuff, but we end up going back home and reviving a bunch of brand new Spectrobes onto our team. We got this weird egg looking guy, we got this worm looking guy, we got a whole bunch of guys, and so far I was feeling pretty good. I mean, the designs on all of the Spectrobes looked absolutely stunning, really, and I felt like I had the digging mechanic on par, and this mineral mechanic seemed really fun. Like, you're feeding your Spectrobes to evolve them, so it's kind of like a Tamagotchi, but also like it's Pokemon, right? Like you're making them stronger. But then all of a sudden we get a transmission to return back to home base. We end up giving the commander the mission report, and turns out all of a sudden a bunch of Krawl vortexes are now popping up throughout the entire solar system, and we are now tasked with defeating most of them and keeping the solar system in safe array. We end up stopping by the armory to pick up some more weapons, which include a blaster and a sword. So now now we can actually fight with our Spectrobes. And now begins our very epic yet slightly clunky and also soul-crushing journey in Spectrobes 1. And so we blast off to Genji, the first planet in the Nanairo Solar System. It's all orangey and foresty, like a pumpkin patch threw up in a tree house, but we make a quick pit stop along the way to mine some more rocks and dig up some more ancient fossils. We're collecting minerals as we go so we can eventually evolve our Spectrobes, but at the same time we start whispering to our Spectrobes to bring them to life because that's how you do it. Now while I'm evolving some more Spectrobes, we do get a bunch of duplicate child Spectrobes, and because of this we're able to actually swap out our Komainu for a different child Spectrobe that actually has more range. More range means we can have more visibility whenever we're trying to mine some more fossils, and because of this we're able to find a ton of brand new, brand spanking cool looking Spectrobes like the Samu Kabu, which already as a child looks really cool. That's actually a really horribly phrased line. But while we're looking around on Genji, obviously there's a bunch of Krawl lurking about. We end up stumbling upon Professor Wright. He's being totally surrounded by all these Krawl, so after a quick and, like I said, very clunky battle, I'm telling you guys, it gets way better in the second game, but for now we end up slogging our way through this battle, and he ends up giving us a brand new free Aeopod fossil. Now this is also when our Spectrobes start, finally hitting puberty and evolving. All the Spectrobes that we have left in our incubator start to now evolve, including our Vylar, who evolves into a Masta, who kind of looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. We also evolve our Segulos as well, and since we also managed to rescue Professor Wright, we're now able to go to our brand new planet called Nessa for a brand new mission. Apparently some guy named Cyrus wanted the help of our NPP, the Nanairo Patrol something, and to kind of describe him, he's kind of like the Jeff Bezos of Spectrobes. He like loves money and he's like reinventing stuff. He eventually like makes something kind of like Amazon, but he's on the hunt for something called the blue keystone. Now the problem is that the Krawl are being total party poopers and his workers can't find the keystone, so naturally we're tasked to help him out on Nessa. Now before we go on our keystone quest, we evolve even more Spectrobes in our incubator. Firstly, our Ao becomes a brand new Ayoba, our Zoza becomes another Zozan, and of course our Nagu evolves into a Naguryu. But now it's time to explore Nessa, baby. We end up finding this super weird pyramid on Nessa, and inside it's full of a bunch of minerals and mysterious cubes, but finally when we reach the end, we end up finding a strange room with a blue keystone that looks exactly what Cyrus was looking for. The thing is though, Gina points out that this temple kind of looks like an ancient spacecraft. I wonder what that means. But anyway, I went ahead and nabbed this blue keystone and got the heck out of there. And now we're actually able to trade the blue keystone for something called the Zeta Cube with Cyrus. And this, my friends, is a huge deal. I'm talking huge. This cube actually unlocks the third tier of evolutions for Spectrobes for us, which is absolutely very important because obviously we need to 100% the game, and to do that we need to fill out the encyclopedia, which in turn we need to get every single Spectrobe. But because I'm a total genius, I accidentally sold it for like $5. Now luckily for us, we can get this at a later planet, which we'll do eventually, but for now we get an urgent message from the commander. Turns out the headquarters is actually being attacked by Krawl, and so we end up flying back to mission control, and dude, we actually struggle so hard. The Krawl here were so tanky that I tried to go ahead and like buy new armor and new weapons because, dude, it was like trying to eat soup with a fork, man. Our damage was simply not there, and to top it all off, there was a brand new leader type Spectrobe at the main area of the commander, and this fight was absolutely brutal. This guy did so much damage, it would just knock out all of our Spectrobes. I could not do anything about it. Also, the movement and the combat was obviously a 2007 game, so I'm kind of struggling there, but it was really hard. However, we did end up discovering a brand new trick, the ultimate attack. If you strategically just run away from the fight and charge up your ultimate attack over and over again, you're actually able to do an AoE damage effect on the entire screen. And if you somehow manage to do that 5 times in a row, you can actually just defeat the boss without actually fighting it. And that's exactly what I did. After the fight, all Lewis reveals to us a haunting revelation. Turns out this is the first of a larger Krawl wave that will eventually get much more stronger and smarter. And so now we're tasked with finding the Krawl nest in the solar system. We get a mission to go to a brand new planet called Zyba to meet with someone called Professor K. With her, we might be able to locate where these nests are and hopefully squash them before it gets even worse. Now, before heading to Zyba, I was actually finally able to get my Spectrobes to their ultimate final evolution. Yeah, I kind of grinded off camera to get that final evolution cube that I sold to Cyrus, but who, But anyway, I was able to evolve my Spike-In into Spike-Inor and my Zozane into Zozanero. If you guys are wondering why I'm using these guys, it's because they're our starters and they were my highest level. Suddenly, we had bigger levels and we were not dying every 5 seconds. And I don't remember the exact mechanics, but basically if your Spectrobe was a certain level and you fed them enough minerals, then you could just evolve them. But now we start exploring Zyba, and on this planet we end up finding out the planet's problem, or the moon's problem really. Turns out this leader Krawl has been affecting the moon's and planetary gravity, and so we take it out in a fight. And I know I kind of brush over these fights, but trust me, they are so boring. I am not a big fan of the combat in this game, and I truly do mean it, that in the second game it gets so much better, but all of the fights in this first game are all the same. game. It's me running around in circles and just using my ult and praying that I don't get hit by a single termite. But after spamming ults on the boss, turns out the nest isn't on the Zyba moons or the planet at all, so we actually have to go back to the ship, and all of a sudden the commander drops a bombshell. The 7th planet of the Nanairo Solar System, Maido, has actually just completely disappeared off the radar. Turns out the entire surface of the planet has been covered with Krawls. This might be our potential nest, baby. The problem is, though, we actually can't go and explore Maido. Our ship is way too weak. But turns out the NPP found out that that temple on Nessa was actually, as foreshadowed, an ancient spaceship. And so we go back to Nessa to try to reactivate the spaceship. But turns out we actually need a blue keystone. The same blue keystone that we gave to Cyrus in exchange for the Zeta cube that we also sold. We needed this blue keystone to power the ship to go to Maido. And so we go back to Cyrus to ask for the keystone back, and he's greedy. He doesn't want to, obviously. He said that he'll only give it to us if we give him a diamond, a Minecraft diamond, dude. And the only place to get that is one of the most dangerous regions on Daiichi. So we need to actually prepare and get better gear for that place, because you actually can die if you don't bring the proper equipment. We also end up browsing through the shop and get a bunch of money. I'm talking a bunch of money. And with this, we're actually able to evolve some of our Spectrobes. Now, I'm not going to go over the entire list for now, because I've just been reviving a whole bunch off camera, and it's just way too much for me to like list them all. But my main like gameplay loop is whenever I evolve a child Spectrobe, I throw them in the incubator. I just let them marinate in there, give them a couple of minerals, and if they can evolve to an adult or evolve to their max form, then I'll just note it down on my notepad. But after a couple of hours of grinding, I had enough money to afford the Gronos suit. Essentially, on Daiichi, to get this diamond, you need to climb this mountain top. The problem is, though, it's a dangerous region, and if you don't wear a suit, you actually will just burn to death. So with the Gronos suit, we're able to go and explore this like mountain. It doesn't even look like a mountain, dude. It kind of looks like a weird cave. But at the very top of the mountain is another boss fight. We did the same old tactic of spamming ults and snagged this diamond and finally traded to Cyrus for the blue keystone. And now with this bad boy, we can finally power up our ancient spaceship at this temple. And turns out the entire temple was actually the spaceship. But now with our brand new spanking ride, we can finally go to Maido. I lied. Turns out the Krawl don't want us to go there, obviously, so they're fighting back, and so we're forced to retreat onto a neighboring planet called Himuro. This was kind of like a frosty glacier planet, and turns out a lot of the Krawl just wasn't here for some reason. After a little bit more of exploration on this planet, it turns out this is an entirely man-made planet that is designed to reflect sun rays onto the planet Maido. I don't know how that makes sense at all. But using the control system on Himuro, we're able to redirect sun rays onto Maido to make an opening so that we can breach the planet. At the very same time, we end up finding another like rock on this planet. It looks like a cube, and it's called a Geo, an ultimate relic crystal Geo. All of this tells us that it is actually very important to summon an ultimate form Spectrobe, the final stage of its evolution, but it's not from like an evolved Spectrobe. It's more similar to like a legendary Pokemon. In order to unlock the true power of the ultimate whatever Spectrobe, we actually need to take this rock, go to the basin of a volcano, and awaken it. And when we get this power, let me tell you, this is the game changer of Spectrobe one for me. This is basically our Deus Ex Machina for everything. It just doesn't make any sense, but it works. Essentially, like I said, the entire time I'm kind of like walking around and charging my ult and one-shotting or trying to one-shot most of my enemies. But now, not only is our attack replaced with an ultimate form Geo, but this thing does so much damage, it ultimately kind of trivializes the rest of the game. And now with this ultimate form Geo, we're finally able to make our way onto Maido. Inside of Maido, or on the surface of Maido, it's kind of like a desert purple area. We end up finding like a cave entrance in a way, and inside was this weird like tentacle flower structure, and at the end, believe it or not, was another boss fight. But now obviously with this like brand new Geo thing, we're able to promptly curb stomp it, and I thought that we were done, but no, turns out this Krawl flower thing revived the boss for a second round. And so, like the generous people we are, we killed it again. But then it revived again because it didn't learn its lesson. So we had to kill it again. And finally, after killing it for the third time, that, my friends, was the grand finale of Spectrobes 1. That was the final boss fight that we had to do. And with that being done, all of the Krawl suddenly started disappearing off of Maido, because I'm pretty sure this was the Krawl nest, and thus we beat the game. The credits roll and we're happy, except for me, because I still had to collect every single Spectrobe, and that was way harder than I thought it would be. On screen, you will now start to see every single Spectrobe in the game. I actually took about 30 hours grinding every single Spectrobe in the game. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but essentially there's not a lot of Spectrobes in the game, I believe there's only like 23. So we already got all the 23 fossils initially. One of the rarer ones, you had to go and farm it on like the Daiichi planet where the diamond spawns. But overall, it wasn't hard to get the 23 base child fossils. The problem came from actually evolving them, because you need so many minerals, you need so much fighting, you need so much incubation time that by the end of the game, you're spending about 30 hours kind of just waiting for all of these guys to evolve. But as you can see, I finally got every single Spectrobe after an additional 20 hours and filled out my encyclopedia. The problem is though, you need to get all the ultimate form Spectrobes. To get the ultimate form Spectrobes, you have to kind of do a battle arena at the end of the game, but you can kind of do like this cheat code thing that Spectrobes added in where you can buy cards, and if you do a specific input on your screen, it just gives it to you. So that's exactly what I did, because I'm not spending even more time on this game. There we go. We got the Cyclone Geo, Zorna, we got Hammer, Lara. All right, we got the next one. We got Fulvina, and then we need two more, I think. Three more. We got the Plasma one, Voltorn, Ice one. Ooh, this one's cool. Arteza. And the last one, Shula, the Wing Geo. I think that's every single Geo. I think that's all 7, right? Yeah, I think it's all 7. Okay, I'm gonna review all of these. I'm so tired, but I'm gonna just get it over with. Okay, well, I finally got every Spectrobe, which took a really long time, but now I can show you guys what each one looks like. Man, they're ugly. Hold up. Okay, we have the classic Vylar, and then you evolve them. Then it becomes Vilamasta, which we used earlier, which is actually really cool. And then we get Vilanox. Very nice. We have Segu, which was one of the first ones we got. We then got Segulos, which I actually used, and then I evolved it into Segulara. I got all of the like last evolutions all in one setting because it was easier that way. A lot of it kind of included time in the incubator, which sucked balls, bro. Oh my gosh. Then we got Harumi. We got the adult Harumite, and then we got Harumighty. So a lot of these guys, what you would have to do is you would have to feed them to a specific stat, and then after that you would need like a specific time in the incubator itself. So Spyco, you know, this is when we rocked with Spikean and Spikenor. We already got over that. But dude, some of them took forever. Like some of them were 2 hours. Like obviously it's fine. This is Nagu, Naguryu, and then Naguzoro. I don't think I got this one. I don't remember. But basically, if you play the game normally, you actually have to wait hours for it to like evolve. This one was a little bit more rare in Kana. I used a guide online for the specific spawn areas. All of these guys, like most of the Spectrobes have common spawns. This is the last one, Inkaflare, but some of them have a little bit more rare ones, and I think Inkana was one of them. So that was one of the last ones I got. But this guy, Dongor, you know, we got him pretty quick. Dongora, and then Don Giga. A lot of these guys were really easy to get, and then the other ladder, you'll see what I'm talking about. Bardor, we got this regularly. Bartolore, really cool. And then Bartolosa, I just got this. A lot of these guys, I literally waited to the last minute to just change all of my like time zone settings at once, so they would just evolve instantly rather than me waiting 5 hours. This still took about 70 to 80 hours to do. Then we got, oh, I just showed this. That's how tired I am. Next one is Aoi, the fish little fella, Ioba, and then Iobasaur, which actually looks super clean. I really like this one. And then next, the golden child of, I believe, Spectrobes, we have Komainu, Komanoto, which is actually super tough looking, and then Komodoros, really cool. I really like this model. I wish I actually evolved him, but you know, we had a decent team going on anyway. Now we have a decent amount to go to. Wait, why is 24 missing? What is 24? Why is there a 24 missing? Oh, I'll get to that later. Oh no. Then we have Shacking, the knife fella, which I actually really like. Evolves in the Shakor, like a fish with a knife, and then Shacoblad, which is kind of like a Loch Ness shank thing. I don't know. Then we got number 12. We have Zoza, which is actually what we evolved into Zozane, and then eventually into Zozanero. So some of these guys don't have their custom parts, which it's fine. I added this custom part on it, which changes it a little bit. I'm not getting every custom part. You're actually insane if you think I'm doing that. We have Grilda here. Then we got Grilden, really cool. And then Grildaros, which I don't necessarily like. It doesn't look the same as the other ones, which kind of suck, but it's still a fine addition to the team. Next, we have Kasumi. I don't know if this is the original color, but really nice. Then Kasumite, and then Kasumire. I got this towards the end as well. This one's a really cool looking fella. I really like his design. And then I believe I have a custom part for you. Custom part 2, which changes his hands. Did I go over this one? Gageo. No, so this is one of the last fellas I got. His spawn was a little bit weird. I believe I got him on, it was either Genji or something. I think it was the last planet. Gage again, and then Gage. I don't really like the evolution for it, but at least I got it. A lot of these guys I got while playing the game. The only ones I didn't get were 2, which is the ones towards the end, evolution, which I'll get to in a moment. So this one's a personal favorite. Samukabu evolves into Samurite, and so clean, right? So nice. And then Samugeki, which gets a little bit fatter. I wish it got a little bit taller, but I mean, it does. It just doesn't look taller. It got a foot taller. I don't know. A lot of these designs are really cool. It's just, that's kind of it. They're just cool. You know, we have Kubaku here, Kuganon, and then Kugaster, like a jet. Really nice. I really love all the designs in this game. It's a shame that no one will ever see them ever. We got Maseto here, really nice. And then Masarobo, and then finally Masatosu. I actually really like this design. It's kind of like a Gundam. Then this fella, Danawa. Oh man. So this fella is actually one of the best, I think the best searching POW, Dynafant or Spectrobe. But the problem is he only spawns in one specific location of the entire game. So he took a while to get. Now we're about to get to the really annoying ones, but here's Tenkro, little bird fella. Then we got Senkro, and then Gekakuro, Gekakuro. Now this is where things get a little bit more complicated. This one is called Mosari. This fella is extremely rare. He, I think, has a 10% spawn chance in one spot in the entire game, which is the final area. But what's really nice is you could keep walking and reloading it. I use the Spectrobe guide for it. I believe the Spectrobe guide covers this fella, Mace or Mesa, and then not Tenkro, Inkapod. Now this is the other really rare one, another low chance Mesa in the final area, Mesa Bone, and then Mesa Thorn. These guys are the final Spectrobes, and then obviously we have the ultimate Spectrobes. But for some reason, I don't have Spectrobe number 24, which is rather interesting. Is it Thundora? I don't have Thundora. Okay, so first of all, this is, I believe, Windora, right? The Wind Spectrobe, which is really cool. It's the ultimate Spectrobe. And then I got Viola-Chroma, which is another one, but I don't have the Thunder one, surprisingly. Hold on. I know there's a code for it that I can actually use. So you actually only unlock this thing, like this, what is this called? Like card input thing after you. So apparently Thundora is not from card input. It's from Wi-Fi, and this game is dead. So I cannot get that one. So I'll just go over the ultimate Geos instead. So now the ultimate Geos, we have Tindora, absolute beast. So cool. Then we have Zorna, the wind one, Cyclone one, absolute beast. Again. Then we have Fulvina, which I actually really like. It's like a thunder octopus thing. Then we got Larup, the hammer Geo, which looks so cool. I wish I got these earlier in the game instead of using the card input, but you know, I know the card input is the only way. I got Voltorn as well. I don't know. They're just so cool. Arteza, the ice one, and then I believe finally the wind one, which was Shula. But yeah, that's every Spectrobe that I can get for now. I'm so tired. This took me such a long time, and the thing is, I'm playing this at the same time as Spectrobes Beyond the Portal, and that's taking even longer. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, because that took I'm so tired. But long story short, we got all of the 23 Spectrobes or 22 Spectrobes. It was not that hard to get. It was just more time consuming, if anything. And then I used the card inputs from the Spectrobes games to go and add all of the ultimate form Spectrobes. And now we are done with Spectrobes 1. We have collected everything. We filled out the encyclopedia. And now we can finally play the next sequel of Spectrobes, the way better one, Spectrobes Beyond the Portals. I am so unbelievably excited to show you guys this. Now, Spectrobes Beyond the Portal is indeed Spectrobes 2. There is a third game. However, this game is on the DS still, whereas the third game goes on the Wii, and they kind of like reinvent how you play. So I'm not really going to bundle the third game into this video because the third game is so different in and of itself. Also, I don't want to collect the Spectrobes again. I don't want to do it again. I'm going to do it for this video, but I'm going to do it for the Spectrobes Beyond the Portal. So I'm going to go through that hell again, which is even worse in this game because there's more Spectrobes. But for the third game, I'm going to take a break from it. Okay. Also, this game is way better than the first game, so I'm really excited to show you guys this. But anyway, the second game starts off with an introduction cutscene, kind of summarizing what happened in the first game with updated graphics, and they're basically just, you know, showing what happened in the first game. However, it says that even though their journey ended several months ago, danger is stirring up again. Meanwhile, on Genji, wow, the storytelling's way better now. Whoa, look at the vortexes now. They changed the texture. It's not purple, it's blue. They look way more magic. Oh, whoa. Now, where shall we begin? Okay. Meanwhile, on Nessa, it's another guy. Wait, these guys look like sentient Krawl. So this is where the tower is located. Meanwhile, near Colin, that's where we are, aren't we? What is that? Yes, perfect. I was just starting to get hungry. Time to open up a portal and swallow everything. The evacuation signal. What in the world is going on? Hey, it's the guy that we saved from the first planet? I don't remember. Lab protocol says that I have to back up the Spectrobe database and take a copy with me. More time? I need more time to export all the data. The properties of the Spectrobes in Krawl, Corona, Aurora, and Flash. I was so close to figuring out how each was related to each other. It's taking too long. The lab is going to lock down. I have to get out of here. Meanwhile, back inside the patrol cruiser. Whoa, it's a cutscene. Hey, it's the ship that we used to use. I guess all this is taking the ship now. Oh, dang. When did the Krawl make? The Crawler pulling a Chimera ant art. She's corrupting the ship. She made it her own, and now she's driving it somewhere else. She's driving it into a portal beyond the portals. Damn, all this, you're a badass. Oh, please don't tell me he dies. What is that? It's a Shadow Komainu. Immediately off the intro cutscene, there is revealed to be sentient Krawl, dark Spectrobes. Things are getting crazy, okay? Turns out Alduis has gone missing. We don't know where he went. Obviously, from the cutscene, we know he got kidnapped. But now, Rowland and Gina are tasked with finding Alduis. Rowland is tasked to go to the weapons log area to pick up his weapons. And this is where we can kind of see the brand new, like, movement in the camera. Combat in Spectrobes 2, or Spectrobes Beyond the Portal, is completely revamped, and it is so much better. Essentially, you can control Rowland, and now you can also control your Spectrobes, not at the same time, though. The way that combat works is while you're on the field, you can fight Krawl by using Rowland and shooting them and, like, damaging them with, like, your blasters or your sword. You're also in, like, a third-person perspective, so it's not, like, over-the-top camera. But now, whenever you're fighting against Krawl, instead of controlling Rowland, you are now controlling the Spectrobes, and you can swap between them. You can pick whichever one is, like, in your left or your right slot, and you can do damages with them as well as dodge. And when you do enough damage, you can eventually build up, like, your ultimate meter bar and then land, like, their special skill. This form of combat is infinitely times better than the first game. I'm sorry, the first game was great. I liked the story. It was pretty fun. 100%ing it ruined my soul. But dude, the combat in this game, so much better. It actually feels so much more fun to play Beyond the Portals. Honestly, really, like, if you want to go and play these games, even though they're like 10,000 years old, just go with the second game. Watch like a cutscene movie for the first game or a story explanation, and then just play the second game. The combat in the second game is so much more fun. But after we're able to defeat the Krawl, we end up finding the mission commander. I actually don't remember this guy's name. I just call him Commander. And he ends up telling us that Alduis is still unknown. We don't know where he's at. He's gotten kidnapped, but also at the same time, the Spectrobe lab database has been completely stolen and lost data. So we have none of the Spectrobes we had from the first game, and we need to completely restart. And the cherry on top, these brand new Krawl, these sentient quote-unquote high Krawl, are more intelligent, more stronger, and more dangerous. We're also given a first initial fossil just to revive. The reviving mechanic, the incubation mechanic, it's all pretty similar. If anything, it's more easier and streamlined in this game. And we went ahead and got our first, or I guess we should say third Spectrobe of the game, a Shamainu. Now, eventually later on in the game, they do revamp a lot of things, so I will have to explain it as we go on. But so far, everything looks the same. Everything is pretty much one-to-one, except for the brand new camera angles, the brand new textures, the brand new everything. And so far, I'm loving it. I love the combat. I love everything about this game. And now we get our first mission to go and investigate Genji. It turns out there might be a high Krawl like attack there, or intelligence attack. And so we head on over to Genji, the planet that we went to on Spectrobes 1. And dude, it is completely revamped. It looks so beautiful. You can actually walk around and see walls now. You're not top down. It is so nice. Now, like I mentioned before, the combat is completely different in this game. Not only are you playing as Rowland, but you also have to play as your Spectrobes. What's also a little bit on the tedious part is that you cannot mine in the area unless all of the Krawl are destroyed. So there is kind of an incentive to clear out every single areas of the Krawl. The fights aren't really hard. In fact, I was really enjoying it. With this brand new combat, you can kind of spam Komainu into doing rolls. But with the Krawl completely clear in the first area, we're able to go ahead and begin drilling. Drilling in this game is very similar to the first game. In fact, I think it's easier in this game. Eventually, it does get more difficult with different like biomes and different environments. But so far, the digging, the excavation, the combat, all good. I'm telling you, this game is so much better than the first. I'm so happy, bro. One of the brand new things we end up discovering is a secret room. Turns out if you have a specific type of child Spectrobe, you can find these secret rooms that only open up if you have a specific like typing, like Corona, Geo, or Aurora, aka like the three, like red, green, yellow, right? Red, green, blue. When you open it up, you can find a bunch of really good loot inside. These include minerals. These include like seeds to like increase your stats. By the way, minerals kind of change later on. I'll explain that too. But so far, I was loving this game. Like I don't mean to glaze, but this game was getting so good. I was having so much more fun. And so I went back home and started reviving all of the Spectrobes that I got from the first area. We have a returning Spectrobe called Incana. I'm pretty sure this is a returning one. I actually don't, the game is blending all in my head like a blender. But we also go ahead and start feeding our Spectrobes in the incubator. Now, the incubation and evolution is slightly different in this game. I'll go more into it in depth later because it kind of gets more complicated when you're trying to evolve every single Spectrobe into your max form, which most people aren't going to do. But, since we're doing 100%, we have to do it. But long story short, there's environments, there's different evolution requirements from the first game. But all you have to know is I started evolving some Spectrobes. Immediately, we got a Bartalore, which I don't remember if this is in the first game. But then from the first game, we evolve our Spike-O into a Spike-Can. And I was so hyped to use this guy because, dude, this guy carried me in the first game, so I gotta use him now. But one of the key differences in the minerals is that before you had to give minerals for a specific stat, HP, attack, defense, they had their own respective mineral. Whereas now the minerals are decided by the color and the typing of whatever you're feeding. So for example, the green minerals are just green. There's tiers of how strong they are, but they're no longer green HP or HP defense, whatever. Like, it's just all green, red, or blue, which made it way more simple and straightforward. They're basically streamlining the game as we go. We end up checking out our lineup to see like who we want in our party. There's a lot more emphasis on the elements in this game. Essentially, as you guys know, red is stronger than green, green is stronger than blue, and blue is stronger than fire. I mean, red, you get the idea. But we were told to switch our typing to the green typing because, well, the boss is a blue boss. Probes. Oh, you look cool. I see you managed to pass through my shadowy shield. I'm Rowlin, NPP. Who are you and what are you doing here? You would be wise to address me with a little bit more respect, patrol boy. I am Jado, one of the high Krawl to which he bestowed his power. What are you talking about? My master, of course, the powerful and wise leader of the high Krawl. So you are one of them. I knew it. What do you guys want? Oh, it is quite simple, you see. This planet is the first step in devouring the Nanairo system. You and your kind shall feel the bone-chilling horror of being devoured by the shadow of darkness. Consider this a little gift from the high Krawl. Oh, he just destroyed our little tower. Whoa, look at his. Wait, did he just transform? As for you, prepare to suffer the same fate as that tower. So they're actually Krawl. It's like the Dinorians. We're fighting Jado. Oh, what the heck? He's actually a boss. They use my combo skill. Combo skill. Aurora tornado. It really is a tornado. It did 200 damage. What's he doing? Stop moving, buddy. We take 20 damage per from that other guy. Special move. I missed. All right, I'm gonna try to pancake him. Stop running that way. His other guy, oh my god, his other guy's whooping my ass. Yes, pancake. Yes, pancake. My Spectrobe died. Revive. Get this thing away from me. Stop locking on him. Unlock, unlock. There we go. Yeet. Oh my god, he's gonna die. Oh my god, he died. No, no, no! I died. No shot. Am I using Spectrobes off the wrong property? Do I need to train? Either way, I can't afford to lose next time. Pancake. Yep. Can't do anything by yourself, huh, buddy? There we go. So much easier that time. I think the tail glitched or something. Wait, boss fights are hard. I got a Deca cube parts and whatnot. How could a measly little patrol boy defeat the great Jado? Mark my words. Whoa, who's this? Maja, one of the high Krawl. The pleasure is all mine, Rowlin of NPP. I'm Rowlin, NPP. Yeah, no, she just said that. You and the high Krawl have some major explanations to do. You're rather cute when you get angry. Don't get off the subject. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with? I give the orders, not you. Listen, Rowlin, let's start over, shall we? I'm afraid we got off on the wrong foot. I must admit, I was impressed with how you dispatched Jado. He is a high Krawl, but the next high Krawl you face is far more powerful. Don't you go and disappoint me now, Rylan of the NPP. I already like how the antagonists are in this game. Way more. Oof. I better head back to the fossil research lab. With the high Krawl being destroyed, or we think destroyed, we head on over and move to Nessa to meet Cyrus. Apparently Cyrus has information. And if you guys can't tell, we're kind of mimicking like the first game. Like we're going in the order of how Spectrobes 1 is, but it's like we're prestige, right? So that's why it's really cool. And also like if you just want to go into the second game, you can just go in head first. And so we meet up with Cyrus for that information on the high Krawl that he had. And of course, he only will give us the information if we get him some more diamonds. Yeah, so we head on over to the Mineral Valley on Nessa. Turns out this is where we can actually go find those diamonds, and turns out that's where the Krawl are located at. And so we explore Nessa, a desert-ridden planet like the first game, but now you can actually see it's a desert, and it's so cool. I just really enjoy seeing all the brand new areas kind of revamped in a brand new camera angle. I love it. I love it so much. But also what's rather interesting is mining in this area. Because it's a desert, you actually need to blow off the sand before you're able to actually dig. We end up excavating and reviving a bunch of brand new Spectrobes. And in case you guys are wondering, some of the Spectrobes might be different colors, and that's because Spectrobes Beyond the Portals, I believe it's only in the second game or the third game, you can actually get different colors depending on how loud you talk to it. So as you can see right here, my Samu Kabu, it is a completely different color than the one in the first game because of the volume that I spoke with it. We also went ahead and revived a Ryza, who is, I would say, the token mascot of the second game, and a brand new Spectrobe, which we promptly evolve immediately and get a Rygazelle. With a brand new Flash team, the blue ones, we're able to enter Mineral Valley where we find a red high Krawl. I could annihilate this puny little planet if I really wanted to. Hold it right there. Stop! Well, what do we have here? I'm Rowlin, member of the NPP. Yeah, I don't care. Let's just fight this guy. He just left. Wait, he just left. bruh. Even though he got away and the tower was destroyed, we end up going to Cyrus to inform him that we messed up, but turns out he actually wasn't that upset. And the reason is because he installed a Amazon.com in our base. Inside of our ship, we have this Cyrus Express, which is basically a portable shop. And this is actually really, really convenient. The problem is though, he kind of upcharges everything in here. So even though it's faster, it is a little bit more expensive. And also if you sell stuff, you actually lose a portion of the money that you would have made. But overall, it's a very useful and portable way for us to progress through the game as fast as possible. We pick up a couple of brand new items and a bunch of brand new gear until it's revealed to us that we need a higher class to reveal this item. And yes, it means we also have to level up Rowland before we get like brand new items and like weapons and whatnot. So it's not that bad. Genuinely, it's not that bad. It is annoying though. No matter, because anyway, we end up getting a transmission from the commander that there is apparently a portal near our ship, and it's a portal that is leaking out crazy Krawl signatures. After a quick mini game, it's kind of like the Kingdom Hearts like space mini game. You basically have to go through. It doesn't really matter if you hit all the rocks. I tried to avoid them the first time, but this allows us to warp to a brand new solar system. And here we're able to find a brand new planet called Hyoga, which kind of looks like a glacier-ish planet. It is a glacier, really. To mine the minerals and excavate the fossils, you need to melt the fossil. Oh yeah, baby, that's a zinger. If you can't tell, as we go to brand new planets, you have to basically do a very specific thing to each of the brand new fossils, which initially sounds really cool. Don't get me wrong, I love this. I think it's so cool and much more interactive. The problem is though, when you're going for something like the 100% on this game and collecting every single Spectrobe, and you need to grind for 30 plus hours for one fossil, it's a little bit more on the complicated side, dare I say. But anyway, at the end of this planet, we're able to find that fire high Krawl guy, and dude, I love the boss fights in this game. My flames will free the Krawl locked in this frozen planet's ice, and all I gotta do is send him through the portal to Nessa. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Come flame my dude, it's a boss fight. We're Gelberus. It's over, dude. I have a grass type. My team's all weak. It'll be cute to see how much damage I'll do, though. 53. Yeah, 53. Actually, not that bad. I died. But everyone died. Dude, this game is so much more harder. All right, I'll try to use my water type team, and I'll bomb rush him. All right, buddy, rematch. I got actual water types this time, and I'm gonna play super smart. We're gonna play range. Okay. Bop, bop. Okay, that's one attack. I'm gonna walk away. Yeah, that's right, Samurott. Oh, that hurts. Oh, gosh. Don't touch me. Nice. Okay. Ow. He has a lingering hitbox. That's great to know. We got a water type super effective move, or super move. That's going to be doing only 103 damage. What are you talking about? Oh my God, that hurts so much. Come on. Special move. That did good damage. These guys are annoying the hell. Can they at least die? I can't. Unlock. Dude. There we go. Okay, we can't kill them. Come on. Yeet. Come on. Yes. We got it. Please tell me that's only one phase and he doesn't have a second phase where he combines with every single element like the Infinity Stones. Oh, we leveled up. Okay. Dude, the only way I did that was I skipped through every single enemy. How could I have been defeated by the likes of you? Dude, his skin though, his like evil Krawl form is so cool. Ugh. Do you think we'll be given the opportunity to like collect those forms? I highly doubt it, but that'd be really cool. So we meet again, Rowland. What's up, baby? What's up, sweetie baby? Maja. I can't tell you how disappointed I was in that Gelberus. He fooled me into thinking he was up to the task, and when he was really just full of hot air. You better explain yourself. You're not here to pick up where Gelberus left off, are you? What? Me? Free these frozen Krawl? Don't be ridiculous. I just hate manual labor, especially when it's hot or cold. No, thank you. Then what do you want? There's something I thought you might like to know. You see, I just went a swarm of Krawl to Colin. So many, in fact, I've lost count. I hate to think what would happen if you don't hurry back right now. Think you're up to the task, Rowland? Can you save Colin? Why, you? Now you can see what you're really made of, Spectrobe Master. Now she's gonna go head over to Daiichi, and we could forget about Colin or chase her. I think we can just do both. We could probably save Colin and then go back. Which one's it gonna be, Colin or Daiichi? I better head back to the Karuza. Yeah. Wait, what? Heavy breathing. Gelberus, he has been defeated. Very well. Let his power be mine. Wait, what? Someone's been absorbing their powers. And so we return back to base to another urgent message from the commander, where a bunch of Krawl have apparently gone to Colin. Maja was telling the truth. And so we need to go back to the Nanairo Solar System. At NPP base, turns out the Krawl are invading them. However, they were able to successfully issue a safety warning. The problem is though, there's a kid on the terrace and we're in charge of grabbing him. But real quick, before grabbing the kid, because I had a crazy ego moment, I went ahead and grinded off camera to level up my team. I wasn't really showing it, but I was really struggling on the last planet. So I went ahead and just kind of fed a bunch of minerals to my Rydrake. So now he's like level 41 and everyone else on my team's like level 20 or 19, which was okay. I don't mind 40-year-olds. But also I went ahead and fed my Rydrake a Chroma 1. As I mentioned before, every Spectrobe has like different colors you can get depending on when you awaken them. And I wanted the original colorway for my Rydrake. And after I fed it, it looked so much cooler. But anyway, starts our mission to go and rescue the kid. I believe I can walk away from all the Spectrobes, but I did want to level up and get as much experience as possible. I went ahead and grinded a couple more minerals at the place too, because you can actually mine at the base. And I started feeding some minerals to my Komonoto to evolve them into the Komodoros. Komo something, dude. Komodo dragon. Evolving, like I said, is pretty similar to the first game. If you give them enough minerals and if they fought enough battles, they can eventually level up. The problem is though, it's gonna get so hard later on. But for now, we're slowly building up our like adult / evolved Spectrobe repertoire, and Komodoros looks really sick. It kind of looks like a Chinese dragon, and this was my go-to Spectrobe as he's really fun to use and really fast. But we're able to locate the kid who's being surrounded by some Krawl, and after a quick fight, we're able to successfully rescue him. We end up talking to the commander, where we end up getting briefed by the commander, and we tell him about what's going on with Maja. He theorizes that even though the 2 high Krawl have been defeated, that Maja is planning something, and they're planning to use Daiichi as bait, and they're trying to bait Rowland to go there. Problem is though, we still gotta go because they're gonna destroy the tower. I don't even remember what the towers do. I think they're important somehow, but it doesn't matter. We have to go to Daiichi to defend the tower, or else we'll probably all die. Rowland, I knew you'd come. Maja, you better tell me what you're up to. You can start with why you told me to come here. You're smarter than you look. Just answer the goddamn question. Anything you say. I'm about to flood the Nanairo system with Krawl. Consider it a present from me to you. The entire system will be wiped out in a flash, just like the ice planet Hyoga, which was decimated long ago. You may be a Spectrobe master, but what would one person do against such a massive force? I'd say your chances are smaller than the grains of dust you blow away from your fossils. What are you getting at? I have a little proposition. Rowland, I want you to join me. You see, I need the power of a Spectrobe master. In return for your cooperation, I'll stop the Krawl heading for Nanairo. Do we have a deal? Never! Don't be a fool. Were you even listening to what I said? Your defeat is inevitable. It's not over until it's over, baby. I'm gonna smack down that Krux guy and the other high Krawl after I'm done with you. All right, now what? We fighting? Whoa, look at those dark Spectrobes. Hinska and Makanoto. All right, I'm gonna kill this one. I've never seen a dark Spectrobe until now. All right, this one, the typing is better, so we're doing good damage in here. And then Ryguard, already. My Rydrake is full HP right now. We're doing fine. They're not dying. Why are they not dying? Is it scripted? Am I supposed to die? Am I supposed to die to these guys? Are you serious? That's not fair. I beat them. Unless I need a special attack. Let me use a special on them. It didn't work. This is dumb. I literally beat them way faster than they beat me. Hinska and a Makanoto. They look really cool. I kind of want them. I wonder if they give you more XP. The dark Spectrobes, they're too powerful. Oh, poor little Rowland. Are you gonna cry? You know what happens to little boys who don't listen? They get spanked. In this case, I'll save you the embarrassment and just destroy the tower instead. That's ridiculous. I literally beat them, so whatever. Follow me through the portal if you think you can stop me, but there's one catch. You have to use dark Spectrobes if you ever have hope to beat me. So are dark Spectrobes just immune to regular guys? So I want to get a dark Spectrobe as soon as possible, but I hope it's not just a black Spectrobe. Nothing wrong with the color of your skin being black, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want the design to just be like the regular design and they just plaster black on it. Anyway, we're now tasked on going to a brand new portal into a completely brand new star system. This time we found a brand new planet called Kagera with a huge black lake. It turns out that a whole bunch of them is a bunch of Krawl ready to go into the Nanairo star system, so we need to stop it. However, when we go explore this place, turns out there is just so much Krawl that it would be impossible to fight all of them and defend Nanairo. The thing is though, Gina has reportedly detected a stationary orbit satellite signal above the lake, and so we head on back to the spaceship to go investigate this signal. We find ourselves in this space ruin area, and for the first time ever in Spectrobes, we're actually able to play as Gina. This entire area is kind of like a puzzle segment of the game, which I actually really like, and Gina has the ability to solve these puzzles. These are kind of like a iPhone like game, you know, like you have to touch it and all the bordering puzzles will turn to that different color, whatever, whatnot. It's not that important, but basically after several and I mean several different puzzles of having matching Spectrobes, of doing these things with Gina, we end up finding out that this entire place is a largest satellite that is able to be charged using Spectrobes of different elements. When we activate the entire satellite, we're actually able to talk into the satellite as it's voice activated and trigger a gigantic family style Kamehameha on the entire planet of Krawl to successfully defeat all of them at the same time. And so we go back down to see Maja being absolutely just destroyed until she starts laughing. Turns out this isn't the only Krawl lake. There is several Krawl lakes scattered throughout the entire universe. The Nanairo system will be a wall-to-wall Krawl before I'm through with it. That's a pretty good bar. Then you will be begging me to lend B power, but it'll be too late. Back at the spaceship, Gina makes a shocking revelation to us that apparently these dark Spectrobes were actually derived from original Spectrobe fossils, but from a different planet. Luckily for us, she's able to locate a new planet for us to actually find dark Spectrobe fossils, so now we'll have the ability to fight these dark Krawl. And so we make our way to Darkmos, a planet filled with darkness. On the planet, we could see a bunch of high Krawl talking and convening, the Green Man and Maja. It looks like they're waterboarding some regular Spectrobes to turn them into dark Spectrobes, when all of a sudden we see a really cool looking villain guy with like orange hair. I thought this was Alduus. It might be, but all he's doing is aura farming, and then he leaves. And so we set foot on Darkmos and begin excavating. Excavating on Darkmos has a brand new mechanic of like vacuuming and blowing away the purple goop to try and get dark minerals as well as dark fossils. These dark Spectro fossils only require dark minerals, so it's actually really easy to level them up. But while we're here, we're able to find a crystal from the lab as well as a bunch of other Spectrobes that apparently the high Krawl were just throwing away here. But with this, we go back to the ship and begin reviving some of our dark Spectrobes. We go ahead and acquire a Rudacho. Even better, we go ahead and get a Pahacha. We got a purple version of our samurai guy. I think I'm gonna use this guy. Level up. We got Rudatori. Ooh, all right. And then this is going to give me Musarite. After we evolved our baby Spectrobes into our adult forms, we now have a functioning team of dark Spectrobes to now hopefully take on some of the high Krawl. And of course, we immediately get wiped because we're pretty low level at this point. We have to actually grind a couple of minerals to evolve them and level them up more. But just judging by the initial like wave of dark Spectrobes are so cool, man. They kind of remind me of Shadow Invisibles. But after enough grinding of minerals, we're able to finally defeat Maja's dark Spectro team. And upon returning back to the ship, we have a mission complete. But of course, there's another problem. The high Krawl have destroyed the tower on Zyba. So now we need to head back to Zyba. When we get to Zyba, we meet up with Professor Kate, who tells us that the tower has been destroyed by Gronos, that green fella. We also get an incoming transmission from Gina telling us that Zyba's moons are weakening magnetic fields. Now, this is actually really similar to the like plotline of Spectrobes 1. So I wonder how much of this is intentional. But we go ahead and go on to Zyba's moons and meet Gronos, the fourth high Krawl that we need to defeat. The problem is though, he ends up retreating into a portal surrounded by a force field. After entering the portal, we can see Gronos trying to absorb all of the planet's magnetic energy, and so we take him into a final fight. What is that? That's his form? I'm still hungry. You're gonna be my dessert. 6,800 HP. Yeah, we're dead. He's sucking me in. Whoa. Whoa. This fight was rough, and I do mean it. This was probably the hardest fight so far in all of the Spectrobes franchise. Gronos has this insane ability to basically vacuum suck in like the ceaseless void and just do a bunch of turbo damage on you. The only way that I was able to actually defeat this fight was to play off camera after grinding for hours, spamming Komanu's roll until finally we're able to defeat him. That's a fragment of Zyba's tower. What's this gold thing? Alduus' prize mod. Just get me out of here, dude. I'm so upset. You have no idea how long this took. You have no. So we just unlocked a brand new planet called Nox through another portal. We have to, oh my gosh, his spaceship is destroyed. Maja? Nani? Oh, are we gonna fight her? Oh, we're totally gonna fight her. A little far from home, aren't we? Sorry to disappoint you, but you came all this way for nothing. I destroyed that old spaceship. That voice. Could it be Alduus? Are they gonna reveal that he's the last high Krawl? Wait. Oh, he's alive. I thought he was the high Krawl. That would have been so much cooler. You're a persistent old fool. I won't go easy on you. Sorry to disappoint you, but you're 0 for 2. You didn't destroy this either. That's a flame Geo. He has the Geo? Isn't that like the final move special thing? Wait, can I get that, please? Pretty please? Oh, she left. Long time no see, Rowland. I don't care. Can I please? Oh, the Geo here is useless. With us reuniting with Alduus and with us having the dormant flame Geo, I went ahead and grinded off camera and got a bunch of my Spectrobes a little bit higher level. We're now averaging about level 50 to level 69. The reason being is we are now slowly approaching the end game, and the final boss fight is going to be ridiculously hard. At this point in the game, I had about like 5 to 10 max level Spectrobes, averaging about level 50. I went ahead and also got 2 of each single type, so we have some water types, some fire types, some grass types, and so we make our way to fly over to Nox, or was it Hakaba? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forget these planet names. This place looks like a Krawl metropolitan city subway line. In here, we fight multiple waves of Krawl until we get to the end of this level and find ourselves another puzzle temple. In here, we can once again play as Gina and kind of redo like all the things we did at the like original temple with all the puzzles. I quite like these levels. It's a nice change of, you know, like puzzle pace. But at the very end of the temple, we end up switching back to Rowland and finding ourselves another Zealous, that flower that we found at the end of Spectrobes 1. And in here, Maja reappears. I still don't understand how this girl's alive. I'll make you cry and beg for mercy. I'll make you regret you crossed my path. Let's see what she looks like. Oh, wow. It has like a scythe. Let's do this. Zealous and Maja. What? Is there no typing? Just gonna aim for the flower. Flower's almost dead. Is there a reason? Does it matter? I'm just gonna do it. All right, flower's dead. Special. Maja's attacking my only range. This is terrible because my range can't do much. All right. Oh, come on, Ride Jake. Put her in the corner. Ow. Dang, son. Okay, wait. He's kind of close to my samurai guy, which is not what I want. Special attack. There we go. So much easier than the last one. The last one, literally, the green ball sucking guy just reels you in and just sucks and kills you. Curse you, Rowland. To think a human like you would be my downfall. A lowly human brat like you. I think I finished off Maja for good this time. That's all 4 high crawl. Almost too good to be true. No, it's not. There's that one that has Alduis's hair. What's that? There's something shiny under down the Zealous. Oh, you gotta go walk all the way down there, dude. Are you serious? What is it? Take a look at this. I've never seen anything like it before. Whoa, it's a voice recording. We are the last inhabitants of the planet Nox. Nox was overrun and destroyed by the Krawl. We tried to fight back with the Dalium, but to no avail. Our people have decided to depart for another planet, just as our forefathers did when they first arrived here. If you are listening and can understand this, then the human race has not yet been defeated. Wait, so the human race has been on Nox? We left the Dalium here in the hope that we would once again be used to fight it against the Krawl. Use it well. Maybe we meet someday on the distant edge of the infinite universe. What? Human beings have been battling Krawl since way before we were born? That's right, Alduis. They were probably the first people to inhabit your home system, Jordan. And they probably left behind another Dalium somewhere in Jordan too. I feel like Alduis's people is still alive then. Like there's no way that they're just also extinct. I have an idea. Could we head back to the Nanairo system and pay a visit to Genji? Right now, our current task is to use the Dalium object that was located on Nox to duplicate it and make more of them, and use this to destroy a barrier on the planet of Malik. There's a dark barrier that we need to pierce, and the final high crawl, that like orange-haired Naruto looking guy, is there. The problem is though, we need to charge the Daliums with sun energy, so we have to just casually orbit around the sun and collect sun energy. This is realistic. With all 7 of the Daliums mounted on separate ships, we are now going to storm the final planet and get rid of all of the Krawl. And so, like the Power Rangers Megazord, we use all of the Daliums to pierce through the final planet and open a wormhole to get inside. But little do we know that Krux, the final high Krawl, has been sneaking aboard our ship and has been getting stronger this entire time. My man was aura farming, but we aura farm harder. Inside of Malik are a series of a bunch of portals and Krawls. In order to successfully go through the entire like labyrinth, the portals actually spin in a different direction. 2 out of the 3 portals are going to be spinning in one direction, whereas one of them is spinning in the opposite. Now, before we actually go ahead and go to the final boss, you can actually farm for dark minerals outside on this like long platform. And since it's really close to your like spaceship, you can keep going back and forth and refreshing it so you can continuously keep getting dark minerals. As we go deeper inside of the temple, we end up finding this big ball of Krawl, just a large concentration of Krawl. And inside, we end up running back into the previous high Krawl that we defeated. May have won last time, but that was merely my shadow. As long as my physical body is here, I shall live for all eternity. Should I swap to my... Oh, he's rainbow now. I need my other guys face the power of the 4 high Krawl all at once. So he's the one absorbing everyone. Let's do this. He's a water type. Great. I have everything that's not a water type. Oh, I remember this fight. This guy was so annoying. Yes. There we go. I can target this now. Fight him! Nessa up, rise out! Go, Ride Drake! Fireball! We're definitely over leveled. We're doing this like no problem, even with a type disadvantage. Fireball. See you later, Jado. I was hoping it was a different high crawl, but I guess it was hinted that it was him because it was like a blue blob. How could this be? No one can defeat me. Don't you get it, Jado? Good always triumphs over evil. Your history! Perhaps there's one more chance. Perhaps he will give you the strength that I need to win. Master Krux, help me. What? Is he the orange hair guy? Dude, there's still more stuff. This is insane. This door looks very important. Is this the final boss, mayhaps? That's one big door. Better get ready just in case. I am ready. Just let me... Wait, I didn't heal. It is him. Krux is the one with the orange hair. Master Krux, I beg you. Give me more power. I need it. Very well. Thank you, Master Krux. You shall have new power. And a new body. A new body. Wait! Is he transforming him into a Spectrobe? Where am I? Master Krux, what's happening to me? Ah! The Krawlosphere is a perfect new body for you. I banish you to wander the endless reaches of space, spreading my name far and wide. Now go. You must be Krux. So we finally meet, young Spectrobe Master. I'm Rowland, NPP, and I'm here to take you down. You presume to defeat me? You are more foolish than I thought. I'm gonna show you what the Spectrobes can do. No, it's I who will show you. Wait. Is that a prize mod? There shall only be one Spectrobe Master standing when it's all over, and it shall be me. If you're Spectrobe Master, then how can you use Krawl and not Spectrobes? Because there is tremendous power in their numbers. And I have another surprise for you, Rowland. After ages of research in the dark, distant corners of time and space, I've created the ultimate creature. A creature from both Krawl and Spectrobe. A creature more powerful than any of that came before. Behold in despair, the true dark Spectrobe. It's just a fucking tornado, dude. All right, what am I fighting? A Dolgan, 5,500 H. What the heck is that? Oh my, we got it. Let's go, Ryan Drake. Me and Comb. Let's go. Oh, we can't attack it while it's underground. It's like a shark. Wait, this thing looks sick. I wish we could use these in battle, man. Oh my. Fireball. I missed. Ryan Drake, turn around. Turn around. Turn around! There we go. If we heal, we definitely could beat this, but I don't know if we can because of lack of HP. Fireball? How did my fireball miss an enemy half the size of this map? It healed? It healed? Oh! Why do these guys have no type? Am I tripping out, or is it like a white type, a neutral type? Bro, turn around. Where is it? Where is it? I can't see. My camera's not resetting! If I die, I'm gonna... Oh! Okay, Rydrake, you're OP as hell. Revive. Dude, Rydrake is so OP, it's disgusting. Oh, we won. Did we save the universe? Or is there a second battle and I'm gonna have to fight the Spectrobe god? You don't get it, do you? The true power of the Spectrobes is light! The days of the Krawl are over, Krux. I applaud your efforts, but the one that does not get it is you, my young Spectrobe master. He is so cool. I'll show you what true power is. I don't have full HP, buddy. I don't have full HP. 3,000 HP? What am I supposed to do? I don't have full HP. Oh, am I not supposed to win this? Oh, that gives me some type of solace. Wait, it's the Flame Geo! My boy from Spectrobes won! Did they reuse the same cutscene? Does this insta-kill it? Oh, I guess it does. We got that plot armor, baby. The Geo. The ultimate form came out to help me. What is this? You can wield the power of the Geo? Your true dark Spectrobes are history. And you're next. I underestimated your power. And I must say, this is far more interesting than I had imagined. But now you shall pay for what you did to my precious beasts. I shall deal with you myself now. And you shall forever regret the day you angered the mighty Krux. There's a cutscene. Wait, this guy has so much drip, it's disgusting. He detached his arm to pull down Rowland's sword. Oh! We cut off his mask. Who is that? He kind of looks like the commander. No! Are you half Krawl or something, Krux? How dare you gaze upon my true face? You may have won the battle, but the war is not over, and neither am I defeated. A strange weakness is overcoming me. Give it up, Krux. I've won. It's over now. I don't think so, my young Spectrobe master. It's over when I say it's over. So that's not the final battle? He's gone. I did it. I defeated Krux. Well, what was that? The temple's erupting? Wait, please don't break the temple. The whole planet's rumbling. Please don't break it. I need these dark crystals. You gotta get over here fast. We have to get out of here in one piece. Wait, no, the planet, it got destroyed. I needed it for the minerals. Wait, no. It looks like Crux's planet disappeared into thin air. No way. No, I needed it. I've got lead whereabouts on the remaining geos to high Krawl stole. Wait, did we beat the game? I picked up a faint signal. They're close by. I guess we can figure out that's our next mission. No, I wanted the planet. This is Commander Grant. Mission accomplished, Commander. No, the planet. I don't care about the safety of the universe. I cared about my mineral. And so with that, we end up defeating the final boss of Spectrobes Beyond the Portal and have completed the game. At least we think. There's still a bunch of things that I need to do to get the 100% of Spectrobes Beyond the Portal, and that, of course, starts off with collecting every Ace Spectrobe. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to summarize all of this in about like 5 minutes because it's not a lot of talking, more so just tedious grinding, and I genuinely hate these parts. But then again, like, you know, it's collecting everything, and it is an old game, right? So the first thing that we need to do is collect every single Spectrobe. Now, unlike the first game, we don't have like 23 Spectrobes. We have about like 50. Luckily for us, though, there's like a Wikipedia where you can find every single Spectrobe area, and with that, I was able to actually like cross-reference that with like the encyclopedia. The next problem came with after finding out every single like rare Spectrobe, which didn't really take that long. It took me about 20 hours. I now had to feed every single one to evolve it into its adult form, and then evolve every single one into the adult of like evolution max form. And that took about 30 hours in and of itself, because not only do you have to feed them and level them up, but also while you feed them and leveling them up, right? As well as you're doing that, you have to make sure that they participate in like 15 battles each. So I had to do like 3 billion battles for this, but eventually I had 96% of it done. So it wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that bad. Now, here's the thing though. The very final last thing you need to do, and in the end game for Spectrobes Beyond the Portal, is to get the remaining geos. Now, if you're unaware, basically at the end of the game, you can do kind kind of like new game plus end like battle arena waves, and there's 6 levels of them. When you beat every single level, or when you beat per level, you'll be given a different geo for every level you defeat. And because there's 7 inclusive levels, you're gonna get an extra 7 geos. The problem is though, level 1 has 10 waves, level 2 has 20 waves, level 3 has 30 waves, and you can see the problem that level 4 will have, level 5, level 6, and level 7 will have. Every single level as you go up increases the waves by that amount of levels. So by the time if we get to level 5, we'll have to do 50 waves. And by the way, let me just mention, if you die, you restart. Now I don't need to get, I don't want to get too violent here, right? But believe me when I say this is going to take a while. But here's the thing, there is something that Spectrobes 1 or Spectrobes 2 has, which is the card input system. As you guys know, earlier in Spectrobes 1, we were able to use the card input to basically like have these physical cards, and you kind of input like a cheat code. And if you do the cheat code, they kind of just give you some items. Now, you can actually just use it to get the geos that this final like sequence battle arena gives you. So instead of spending another 40 hours of my life doing a very obscure battle arena in a game that's almost 10 years old, I can instead spend 15 minutes and get all of the items. Now, it is kind of cheating, I will say. It's not really fair. Like, you could argue that this is, you know, like a little cheesy, right? But I would argue it's a game feature, and it's something that they wanted you to do. I don't think they actually really expect you to do this, because even though I was level 99, by the way, I grinded to get to level 99 with my team, I was still dying several times. But it does not matter, because now, after I put in all of the card input stuff, I had every single geo. And with that being said, I collected every single Spectrobe and got it to the max level. So now, here are my final thoughts on like the Spectrobes designs, the idea of getting all of them, and the game franchise as a whole. I loved playing this, but dude, the collection like achievements were so hard to do. But yeah, enjoy. Oh my god, wait, that's all of them. 185 out of 185. So this is the fire geo, that one that you normally get, right? Tandera. Then we get Zorna, the wind one. Then Fulvina, the lightning one. Then Larup, the hammer one. Voltorn, the plasma one. And Arteza, the ice one. And then finally Shola, the wing one. And then we have every single Spectrobe. Oh my gosh. Vylar, cool. Vilamasta, cooler. Vilanox, nice. Segu the egg, he's all right. This one's not bad. Segulara, really cool. Dude, these guys took me so long to get. Harumi, I like this one. Harumite, very cool. Harumighty, super cool. My personal favorite, Spyco, involves in the Spike-In, which I like. This from the first game. And then Spikenor. Nagu, I really like. I don't remember if this was in the first game, but it becomes Nagu Zoro. Super cool. I think this is one of the first adults I got. Inkana, Inkanapa, okay, not bad. Inka Flare, very, very nice. Dongor, I really like. Dongora, very nice. Don Giga, I don't really like. I don't think it matches what it looks like. Bardor, cool design, looks like a duck. Bardalor, nice. Bardalosa, very cool. Aoi, I think it's like a fish. Aoba, this was in the first game, I believe. And then Aobasaur, I really like this design. Then the classic Komainu, Komanodo, and then Komodoros. And then we got Shakin the knife. This was in the first game, Shakor, and then Shako Blade. Shako Blade, it's like a Loch Ness shank. Zoza, this was in the first game. I evolved this. Zozane, and then Zozanero. This is what I used to carry me. Then we have Grilda, the Hydra. Very, very cute. Grill Dragos, very nice. Geijo, cool. Geijigen, nice. Geijigage, it's all right. Kasumi, I really like this one. Kasumite, very cool. And then Kasumire, oh. Samukabu, okay, this is one of my favorites. It evolves into Samurite, which evolves into Samugeki. Kubaku, I don't remember using this. Kuganon and Kugoster. Okay. Maseto, Masarobo, and then Masatesu. I did this recently. I evolved this recently. Danawa, Danapix, and then Danafant, very nice. Tenkro, Senkro, Gekko, Mosari, Mosarito, Mosax. Okay, this guy right here, I think he's the rarest fossil in the entire game. I was only able to farm him after about 2 hours of looking in the same area, but this guy has a really low drop chance from any area or any planet, I believe. And I finally got it after a couple of hours of only looking for him. Mesa, Mesa Bone, Mesa Thorn, cool. Winba, I like Winba. Winbis, and Windora. Now keep in mind, this isn't like all of the regular colors. Some of them might be customized because it just depends on the type of fossil you get, because I think there's 3 different colorways. We got Thunba, Thundor, and then Thundora, which I really, this might be one of my favorite designs. And then we have a Villachroma all by itself. This is from the custom input. Then we got Gagong, Gorgong, and Zeragong. This is really cool. I really like this one. We got Koroko, Korogeki, Korozama, cool. OG Maru, OG Dono, and OG Zama. Really nice design. Kamazoa, Tiazoa, and then Gokazoa, which looks so cool. Then we got Mugon, Chomugon, Gekimugon. We have Shimainu, Shimanoto, Shimadoros. I like this design personally, but I could see why people wouldn't like it. Darucho, Darutori, and Darutake. We got Boma, Boma, and Doma Boma. This was like the last one we did, I believe. Then we got Azapi, Azamaru, Azamaros. We got Senpu, Senpura, Senpuga. Very cool. Azeko, Azenor, Azawana, Montrador, Montradora, Montrados. Got Pago, Pagoni, and Pagoyama. I personally like this evolution line. We got Leo, Leo Puba, Leo Zar, classic cool looking tiger, Tobasu, Kitobasu, and Butobasu, which are just shoes. Cool, man. Then we got Denden, Dendama, and Denpachi. Kakakuri, Kamakuri, Gekikuri. This one actually surprised me. I like this design. Hapacha, Hapazoa, Hapaxion, Anubi, Anubos, Anuboros. We got Ryza, my personal favorite. Ryza, Rygazelle, and Rydrake. This absolute beauty. We also have the different custom color because I actually gave it a different colorway because I want the blue and whatever. I believe this is like the go-to Spectrobe for this series. Then we got Torga, Torgazor, Torgala. Got Nokoko, Nokogiro, and Nokogila. We got Shogyo, Chugyo, Daigyo. We got Hane Oto, Hane Gaku, Hane Bakuan. And then we have the, what's it called? The custom parts one or the custom input one. So these are single, no evolutions. It's Kibateka, Bakuraya, Isadora, which I really like. And then it goes back to normal. We got the dark Spectrobes now. So we got Picos, Pinska, Panorska, which is the dark Spiken. We got Makanui, Makanoto, Makadoros, which is the dark Maka, you know. Then we got Musakabe, Musarite, Musageki, which is the dark Samurai. Then we got Sameto, Samurobo, and Samatosu, which is the dark Masarobi. And then we got Rudocho, Rudatori, Rudatake. We got Zapi, Zamaros, which was the one that I was using. This thing has broken damage, almost like a one-shot on everything. Then we got Elo, Elopuba, and Elozar, the dark tiger looking thing. And then I think this is the last two. Pahacha, Pahazoa, and Pahaxion. I didn't use this guy. But Zyra, Zygerzel, and Zardrake, which is my favorite one. I use this one nonstop. Then we got Troga, Trogazor, Trogolop, last guy, last dark Spectrobe. And then finally, the last Geos, Tindera, Zorna, Fulvina, Larup, Voltorn, Arteza, and Shula. And now we are done with the 100% of Spectrobes. I'm not doing the last challenges. You are tripping. I saw one of the comments telling me to get all of the like colorways. You're crazy, bro. I am not doing that. This has taken me so goddamn long. But yeah, that was pretty fun. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching the Spectrobes 1 and Spectrobes 2, aka Beyond the Portals 100%. I originally recorded this on my second channel, and I didn't really think I was going to make a video on this because I kind of just wanted to play for the story, but I ended up just going off camera and just doing the 100% of my own time. I think in total, this took me about like maybe 200 hours. There was just so much grinding and looking at wiki. There was just so much grinding involved in looking at wikis and looking at a bunch of resources. And overall, it is like an older game. So there's a lot of mechanics that just aren't up to date and therefore like a little bit choppy. But overall, I think this is a very like hidden gem of a game franchise. If you love Fossil Fighters, if you like Pokemon, like creature captors, I highly recommend playing this game at least once in your life, like on your DS. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see a 100% on Spectrobes Origins, which is the third game on the Wii, not the DS. So it's apparently a little bit better. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I will eventually do it though. I got to find my Wii. But yeah, if I do that, it'll be on my second channel. So go check that out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And it's been Adrian, guys.